as you begin your journey into a restful, raining sleep. You find yourself in the warm, cozy embrace of the Gryffindor common room, the kind of place where the crackling firelight dances along the stone walls, casting long, flickering shadows. The familiar hum of students chatting and the soft rustle of pages turning surround you as you sit with your homework spread out in front of you. Your quill is poised, but your mind drifts far from the task at hand. The parchment before you remains untouched as you glance out the window. The moonlight washing over the castle's turrets and towers. The fire burns brightly, filling the room with the comforting scent of wood and warmth. The cushions on the couch are soft, and the flickering flames cast a golden glow over everything, making everything seem just a little more magical. Yet your eyes wander over to the bookshelf full of ancient texts and enchanted volumes that seem to call out to you, beckoning you to explore their mysteries. You're supposed to be studying, but the lure of adventure always seems to draw you in when the world around you quiets down. You think of the forbidden forest, with its tangled trees and the secrets hidden within, or the whooping willow, which is both dangerous and magnificent in its power. Hogwarts is a place that holds so many stories, just waiting for you to discover them. It's always easy to get distracted when there's so much magic surrounding you. Then, from the corner of your eye, you spot something. A whisper of conversation catches your attention. You look up to see a couple of students huddled together, their faces alight with excitement as they discuss something in hushed tones. You strain your ears, barely catching the words, but your curiosity flares when one of them, a seventh-year Slytherin named Van Stupont, mentions something that makes your heart race: a forbidden book in the restricted section of the Hogwarts library. It's a book so elusive, so dangerous, that even mentioning it in public is a risk. The thrill of the unknown grips you immediately. The restricted section, a place you've always been forbidden from entering, is home to books that contain dark magic, ancient secrets, and knowledge that should never see the light of day. Just hearing the mention of it sends a chill down your spine, and an uncontrollable excitement fills you as you think about the possibilities that lie hidden behind its doors. As your mind begins to race, you quickly stand up from your seat, your attention fully captured by the conversation now. You quietly approach the table, pretending to be engrossed in a book. In the midst of their laughter, you overhear a few more words from Vance. He's planning to break into the restricted section later that night, alone, to retrieve something powerful. The temptation to join him, to uncover whatever it is he seeks, becomes overwhelming. You've always been curious about the secrets of Hogwarts, but this feels different, more daring, more dangerous. The more you think about it, the more you know. You can't let Vance go alone, not when the mystery of that book could finally be solved. You can't let someone like him get all the credit. After all, you have your own courage, and if anyone's going to outsmart Vance, it's going to be you. But you'll need a partner, someone who knows the school as well as you do, and can help navigate the magical obstacles glance across the room and spot your best friend, Leo Lockmere, poring over his notes in his usual meticulous fashion. Leo, ever the studious Ravenclaw, is the perfect person to help. He's smart, logical, and more importantly, he's been your companion in countless adventures, even if most of them were more academic than dangerous. But tonight, it's time to break the rules and take things to a new level. You walk over to him, your excitement building with each step. Asterisk Leo, you whisper, leaning over his desk. I've just heard something that's going to change everything. The restricted section. It's not off limits tonight. We're going to find out what Vance is really after, and we're going to do it before he does. Leo looks up, raising an eyebrow, a mix of curiosity and caution on his face. You're not seriously considering this, are you? He asks, but the glint in his eyes tells you everything you need to know. Leo may be a bit more cautious than you, but deep down, he thrives on adventure just as much as you do. Together, you begin to plan your next steps, knowing that tonight's adventure will be unlike any other. Hogwarts at night is a different world entirely, and the restricted section is the ultimate test of both your courage and your wits. As the common room falls quieter, you and Leo slip away from the hearth, the golden glow from the fire fading behind you. The torchlight along the stone walls flickers softly, casting gentle shadows that seem to whisper the secrets of Hogwarts' ajoyled halls. There's a palpable sense of anticipation in the air, thick with the energy of something forbidden, something just out of reach, but waiting to be discovered. As the door to the common room closes softly behind you, the muffled sounds of students laughing and talking seem to disappear, replaced by the rhythm of your footsteps echoing in the empty corridors. The Hogwarts castle at night is a different world. The towering walls seem more imposing, the long corridors more winding, and the air itself feels heavier, as though it's steeped in the magic of centuries past. Every turn, every shadow seems to hold the promise of adventure and danger, making the place feel like a living, breathing entity that's alive with its own stories. You both make your way through the dimly lit corridors, the sound of your footsteps muffled by the thick tapestries that hang from the walls. Leo walks beside you, his usual calm demeanor replaced by a twinkle of excitement. His eyes reflect the same thrill you feel, but there's a hesitation in the air, a nagging thought about what might happen if you get caught. Still, it's too late for second thoughts now. There's no turning back. Do you think Vance will actually be there? Leo whispers, his voice low, like he's afraid the walls might be listening. He grips his wand tighter, as though it's the only thing keeping him grounded in this world of intrigue and secrecy. I don't know, you respond, glancing over your shoulder to make sure no one's following you. But one thing's for sure, we can't let him beat us to it. Whatever's in that book, it could change everything. Leo nods, though you sense a twinge of nervousness behind his calm expression. You, on the other hand, are filled with nothing but excitement. You can practically feel the adrenaline coursing through your veins, pushing you forward. The thrill of defying the rules, the anticipation of what you might find, and the sheer mystery of the restricted section ignite a spark within you as you approach the library. The towering stone doors loom ahead, their ancient iron handles gleaming faintly in the dim light. You and Leo pause just outside, as if the weight of what you're about to do suddenly hits you both. This isn't just another nighttime adventure. This is dangerous. It's forbidden, and it could have consequences. Neither of you are fully prepared for. Leo glances at you. You're sure about this? He asks. You notice the concern in his eyes. Always been the one to think things through carefully, to measure every risk. But even now, he's clearly drawn into this mystery. His curiosity outweighs his doubts. You grin and give a small nod. We've got this. Oh, we just have to be quiet, and get out before anyone notices. Trust me, Leo will be in and out before the night's over. Leo's hesitation lingers for a moment, but then, with a sigh, he straightens up and adjusts his glasses. His usual analytical mind already beginning to form a strategy. Right, but we'll need to stay close and keep an eye out for any professors or, gods forbid, filch. Asterisk with a shared look. You both exchange silent understanding. You reach out, pulling the large bronze door handle, and it creaks open just enough for you to slip through. The library at night is even more mysterious than during the day. Moonlight filters in through the high windows, casting an ethereal glow on the wooden bookshelves. The scent of old parchment and leather fills the air, familiar but strangely heavier when the library is this quiet. Each aisle you pass feels like it's filled with secrets waiting to be uncovered, and you can't help but feel a twinge of excitement at the thought of what might be hidden in the stacks. Asterisk, as you walk deeper into the library, you feel the presence of the restricted section. It's like an aura, an unspoken rule that makes the area feel more sacred and forbidden. The more you walk, the closer you get to your goal. Soon, the shelves that separate the ordinary books from the forbidden ones begin to reveal themselves. The restricted section seems imposing, its walls lined with ancient tomes and artifacts, some of which could hold powers beyond imagination. Suddenly, you stop. You hear the sound of footsteps in the distance, the echo growing louder as someone walks toward the library. Filch, or worse, a professor. Quickly, you and Leo duck into the shadows, barely breathing as the footsteps draw nearer. You feel the heat of your own heartbeat, the pulse of adrenaline rushing in your veins. For a moment, everything seems to hang in the balance. The night is still, but you're both on edge, trying to stay out of sight. The footsteps pass, and with a collective sigh of relief, You both exhale quietly. You give Leo a nod and continue on your destination, now within reach. As you step closer to the entrance of the restricted section, the doors loom ahead, like the final hurdle to overcome. The thrill in your chest rises again. Vance might be somewhere beyond, but it's you. Who will find the answers first? The mystery of the book, its secrets, and its potential are waiting for you to uncover as the thick wooden doors of the restricted section loom before you. A sense of urgency swells within you. The air seems thicker here, the weight of the forbidden knowledge pressing in on all sides. You can almost feel the magic in the air, crackling with the energy of ancient and dangerous secrets. The doors themselves are imposing, covered in intricate carvings that seem to shift under the dim light of your wand. Their patterns almost alive, as though they're watching your every move. Your heart races in your chest, but you push the nervousness aside. You're so close, now there's no turning back. You glance over at Leo, who's still with you, his face illuminated by the soft glow of his wand. His expression is focused, but there's a flicker of hesitation in his eyes, a slight doubt that mirrors your own. He knows this is risky, but the thrill of discovery has gotten to him just as much as it has to you. Ready? You whisper, your voice barely audible in the quiet of the library. You grip your wand tighter, its familiar weight reassuring you in the silence. Let's do this. You reach for the door handle, your hand trembling slightly as you twist it. The doors creak open with an eerie sound, making your breath catch in your throat. The atmosphere within the restricted section is unlike any part of Hogwarts you've explored before. Heavy, ancient, and filled with a sense of both danger and wonder. It's as though the books themselves are waiting to be discovered. There, whispers begging to be heard. You step inside. Leo closes behind you. The shelves are filled with dusty tomes, their spines worn from centuries of handling. Some are locked away in glass cabinets, while others are stacked in a haphazard manner, their titles barely legible. As you walk deeper into the section, the air grows colder, and you can feel the tingle of magic swirling around you. It's as though the books here are alive, guarding their secrets with a sense of possessiveness. You wonder what kind of dark magic or ancient curses could be hidden within these pages. You and Leo move cautiously through the narrow aisles, glancing over your shoulders every few steps. Your footsteps echo too loudly in the stillness of the room, but you can't help it. The excitement is too much. You're here. You're about to uncover something that's been hidden for so long, locked away from students for reasons you don't fully understand. Suddenly, you stop dead in your wall tracks. Your heart skips a beat. From the far corner of the room, you hear a faint, rustless sound, so soft it could have been a gust of wind, but it sends a chill down your spine. You freeze, holding your breath, and glance around. Leo looks at you, his eyes wide with concern. instinctively reaching for your wand. Your body is on high alert now, every muscle tense, prepared for whatever might be lurking in the shadows. The shuffling sound grows louder, and then, to your relief, you realize it's just the wind carrying through the broken windows above. You let out a quiet sigh of relief, but the tension still lingers. The restricted section is alive with energy, but also with an eerie sense of danger. Let's keep going, you whisper, the thrill of being so close to your goal, outweighing the anxiety that creeps up your spine. Leo follows silently, his face set in determination. You both know that there's no turning back now. Finally, you reach the section where the book is rumored to be located. Your breath catches in your throat as you approach the shelf. It's the same one Vance was talking about. The title of the book is barely visible from where you stand, but the glow from your wand reveals the words. The Ancient Rites of Blood Magic. The title alone sends a shiver through your body. You glance at Leo, his face unreadable as he stares at the book, then back at the shelf. You reach for it cautiously, feeling the weight of its forbidden nature settle in your hands. But just as your fingers brush the spine, you hear the faintest sound footsteps approaching. You stop, your heart now hammering in your chest. You know who it is without needing to look. It's Vance. He steps into the section just as you're about to pull the book from the shelf. His eyes widen when he sees you and Leo standing there, both of you frozen mid-movement. For a split second, the three of you just stare at each other, caught in a moment of realization. You. Vance sneers, his voice low, but full of venom. I should have known. Trying to beat me to it, are you? You swallow, feeling a knot form in your stomach. You don't want to fight Vance, not here. Not now, but you've come too far to turn back. You glance at Leo, then back at Vance. The book is still in your hands, but the tension in the air is almost unbearable. You don't know what Vance plans to do, but you're ready for whatever comes next. Asterisk, the room is tense, the air thick with a weight of unspoken words. The restricted section, usually a quiet and sacred space, now feels alive with the heat of confrontation. You hold the book in your hands, feeling its power pulse through the worn leather cover. It's heavier than you expected, as though it's pressing down on your very soul. Leo stands beside you, his grip on his wand tight, his expression betraying his nervousness, but his eyes remain determined. This is at the moment of reckoning. Vance steps forward slowly, his posture defiant, eyes glinting with malice. I knew I wasn't the only one who could break the rules, he says with a mocking grin, but you're too late. This book, it's mine. You feel your pulse quicken. The sense of danger is palpable now, and your mind races. You want to stand your ground, but the presence of Vance, the looming threat of what might happen, fills you with a strange mix of excitement and fear. You've come so far. There's no way you're letting him take the book, not without a fight. You don't know what you're messing with, you say, trying to keep your voice steady. This isn't just about breaking rules. This book holds something dangerous, something dark. Are you sure you want to go down that path? Vance laughs, a cold, mirthless sound that echoes off the stone walls. Please, spare me the lecture. I know exactly what this book holds, and I know what it can do for me. You think you're the only one who's smart enough to figure it out. His eyes flick to Leo, and then back to you. You should have stayed out of my way. The tension builds as Vance takes another step forward, his eyes narrowing. It's clear now that he won't just walk away. This isn't about curiosity anymore. It's about power and the temptation to wield it for himself. You can sense the darkness in his words, the dangerous obsession he's developed for the knowledge contained in the pages of the book. The thought of what he might do with it sends a shiver down your spine. Leave it, Vance. Leo speaks up, his voice firm, but cautious. He knows the stakes. He knows the magic in the book could easily get out of hand. But Vance just scoffs at him, brushing aside his words like they're nothing. You think you're going to stop me with words? You're more naive than I thought. Vance sneers, stepping closer. I'm not leaving here without it. You know you have only one option now. You can't let him take the book. You can't let dark magic be used in the way he intends. You lock eyes with Leo, a silent understanding passing between the two of you. This isn't just about a book anymore. This is about stopping someone who could use this magic to hurt others. Asterisk, get ready. Leo, you whisper under your breath, ripping your wand with newfound determination. We're not going to let him get away with this. Before Vance can take another step, you raise your wand. The tip glows with a soft blue light as you cast a simple charm to create a shield blocking his. Advance. Vance stumbles back, clearly surprised by the force of your move. He looks at you, fury in his eyes. You think you can stop me with that? Vance roars. He thrusts his own wand toward you, a burst of dark energy shooting from it. You barely have time to react, raising your wand just in time to deflect the curse. The force of his spell pushes you back, and you crash into one of the nearby bookshelves. Books tumble around you, the crash breaking the silence of the library. You scramble to your feet, heart racing, as Vance prepares to fire again. Leo steps forward, his voice calm but assertive. Protego. Leo's shield charm intercepts the spell, sending it harmlessly into the air. You glance at him, silently grateful for his quick thinking. This needs to stop, Vance, you shout, trying to regain control of the situation. The bookshelves shake, dust floating in the air around you. You can feel the magic crackling, the tension hanging heavy in the room. But there's something else. Now focus. You have a moment, a chance. You look down at the book, still clutched in your hands. It beckons to you, and for the first time, you feel its weight in a new way, not as a burden, but as the key to ending this confrontation. Enough, you say firmly. your voice trembling with the weight of the situation. We don't have to do this. Vance freezes for a moment, his eyes darting to the book in your hands. For a brief second, the hostility in his eyes flickers with something else, uncertainty, doubt, or perhaps just fear. But then, in the next instant, it's gone. Greed for power is stronger than any other emotion he feels. He raises his wand again, ready to fight, determined not to let you win. You step forward, raising your wand high, ready for what comes next. Leo steps beside you, prepared to face whatever challenge is thrown your way. And then, as if on cue, a loud bang reverberates through the library, and the air feels as though it's charged with an electric buzz. The ground beneath you seems to vibrate, as though the entire Hogwarts castle is coming alive with the anticipation of what's to come. All right then, you whisper to yourself, gripping the book tighter. This isn't just about the book anymore. It's about the future. About preventing darkness from overwhelming everything. The confrontation with Vance reaches a boiling point. You and Leo are standing tall, ready for whatever comes next, hearts pounding in your chests. The library around you feels almost alive, the heavy weight of knowledge pressing in from all sides. The restricted section, once a place of curiosity, is now a battlefield, charged with the energy of an impending magical duel. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifts, the temperature drops, and the room is filled with an eerie, hissing laugh, sharp and mischievous. It echoes from the far corner of the room, and you know instantly who it is. The poltergeist rascal has made his presence known. Well, well, what do we have here? Rascal's voice echoes through the library, as the air turns thick with mischief. A little wizardly showdown. This is too good. His ghostly form materializes in front of you, his wide, toothy grin almost glowing in the dim light. His disheveled appearance and wild hair make him look like a chaotic whirlwind of energy, more playful than dangerous, but still a force to be reckoned with. Vance, clearly frustrated by the interruption, sneers at the poltergeist. What do you want, Rascal? This doesn't concern you. Rascal laughs again, a high-pitched, bubbly sound. Oh, but it does. You see, I'm the one who gets to decide what happens next. It's not just up to you, my dear Vance. He pauses, looking between you, Leo, and Vance, with mischief in his eyes. A little riddle contest, perhaps. That sounds fun, doesn't it? The winner gets to take the book if they can solve it, of course. You exchange a glance with Leo, both of you knowing that this will only make things more complicated. But you can't back down now. You've come too far, and the thought of Vance getting his hands on the book is too dangerous. Still, a riddle contest with Rascal could mean anything: traps, mind games, or deceptive tricks. Vance scoffs at Rascal's offer, but the curiosity in his eyes is impossible to miss. You think you can outsmart me with riddles, Ghost? I've dealt with worse. Rascal's grin widens. We'll see about that. Suddenly, a golden light envelops collapse the space between you and the poltergeist. Rascal raises his hand, and the bookshelves seem to tremble as if the entire library is holding its breath. The tension thickens as Rascal begins his first riddle, his voice dripping with amusement. I have keys but open no locks. I have space but no room. You can enter, but you cannot leave. What am I? The question hangs in the air, like an invisible challenge. The walls feel closer now, as though even the books themselves are watching, waiting to see who will be the first to solve it. You glance over at Leo, who's already furrowing his brow in thought. Asterisk. You can feel the pressure mounting. It's more than just a test of intellect. It's a battle of wills. You know that the stakes are high, and the poltergeist's riddles can't be trusted. There's more to them than meets the eye. You closed your eyes for a moment, taking a deep breath. Your mind whirs as you search for the answer. The answer comes to you quickly, like a sudden flash of realization. A keyboard. You say, your voice confident despite the uncertainty swirling inside you. Rascal lets out a loud whoop of laughter. Correct. 1 point for the brave Gryffindor. You breathe a sigh of relief. 1 hurdle down, but you know the real challenge has just begun. Vance, clearly irritated, steps up to answer the next riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I? The question stirs something in your mind, but before you can formulate your answer, Vance speaks up. An echo. He answers smoothly, his voice laced with confidence. Rascal claps his hands, delighted by the quick answer. Well, well, well. Looks like we're all tied up. Rascal cackles. Oh, but let's see if you can handle this one. Oh. New sense of urgency fills the air. You know that the next riddle will be crucial. If you lose this challenge, Vance could claim the book, and the consequences could be disastrous. Your heart beats faster, and your focus sharpens. You glance over at Leo, his face set in concentration, and you feel a renewed sense of camaraderie. You've got each other's backs, and no matter what happens, you'll face this challenge together. Rascal's next riddle comes at you like a whirlwind, and the library seems to hold its breath as he speaks. The more of this there is, the less. You see, what is it? The words echo in your mind, and you close your eyes for a moment, blocking out the tension of the contest. You focus on the riddle itself, trying to clear your mind. Suddenly, it clicks. Darkness. You answer confidently, stepping forward and meeting Rascal's gleaming eyes. Rascal pauses for a second, his mischievous grin fading for just a moment before he bursts into laughter once again. Correct again. Well done. The contest is over. You've won. But as you stand there, catching your breath, you know the final challenge is yet to come. Rascal may have relented, but the true test of this adventure lies ahead. With a soft pop, Rascal vanishes into the air. leaving behind only the faintest trace of his eerie laugh. Vance, defeated, turns away, his pride bruised. But you know, the real prize lies before you. The book. You approach the shelf, your heart pounding in your chest. The book you've sought so eagerly, the one that holds the potential to change everything, is finally within reach. The question now is, will you open it? And if so, what will the consequences be? With Leo by your side, you reach for it. The heavy leather of the cover cool against your fingertips. As you pull the book from its resting place, the entire room seems to hold its breath, waiting for the next step in your journey. Asterisk, you feel a thrill course through your veins as you hold the book in your hands. Its ancient leather cover, cool and slightly worn beneath your fingers. The soft hum of magic seems to emanate from it, filling the space around you with a strange magnetic energy. This is it, the culmination of your adventure, the prize that's been calling you all night, the book of forbidden knowledge. Now, within your reach, Leo stands beside you, his face a mixture of awe and caution. His eyes flick from the book to you, and back again, as though he's unsure whether to celebrate or be worried. Do you think we should really open it? He asks quietly, his voice barely above a whisper. The concern in his tone is palpable. He knows as well as you do that this is no ordinary book. It's something dangerous, something that could change everything. Asterisk, you hesitate for a moment, the weight of the decision sinking in. Knowledge is power, and you've always believed in seeking the truth. But now, with the book in your hands, you feel a deep uncertainty. It's as if the book itself is alive, its power seeping through the pages, calling you to uncover its secrets. You glance at Leo, silently acknowledging the risk you're both about to take. Maybe we don't open it just yet, you say, your voice filled with trepidation. Let's see what we're dealing with first. We don't know what's inside, and it could be more than we can handle. Leo nods in agreement, a quiet sigh of relief escaping his lips. We've come this far, and we're not going to ruin everything by rushing in. You both step back from the shelf, the book still tightly clutched in your hands. For a moment, the only sound in the room is the soft rustling of pages as you adjust your grip. The library is eerily quiet now, the occasional creak of the old building, the only reminder that you're not alone. But even the sounds of the night seem to fade away, as if the magic of the restricted section has enveloped everything in a strange stillness. Suddenly, a soft glow emerges from the pages of the book, illuminating the surrounding shelves with an ethereal light. You feel your breath catch in your chest. The book isn't just a book. It's something far more powerful, far more alive than you could have ever imagined. You can sense its ancient magic, old and heavy with knowledge, waiting for someone to tap into its power. You see that? Leo whispers, his voice filled with awe and fear. He steps closer, drawn to the glow, but you instinctively take a step back. You're You're not sure if it's the book's magic or your own curiosity, but something about it feels almost ... hypnotic. Your heart pounds as you carefully open the book to the first page. The text inside is written in an ancient script, the letters flowing like a language you've never seen before. But as your eyes skim the lines, something strange happens. The words shift before you, arranging themselves into a language you can understand. The pages begin to glow brighter, and a soft hum fills the air. Not a sound, but a vibration in the air around you. It's as if the book itself is speaking to you, beckoning you to read, to unlock its secrets. But as you look down at the first few lines, something catches your eye. The words are warning you, but in a way that you didn't expect. They don't just tell a story. They hint at danger, at power that can't be controlled. You feel a shiver run down your spine. The book's allure is strong, but so is the growing sense of unease. You've heard the stories of students who've meddled with forbidden magic before students who vanished, never to be seen again, or worse, returned as something changed. The book you're holding now could very well be the source of that danger, and every instinct in you is screaming to put it down. Leo watches you, his expression conflicted. "I don't know," he says, voice trembling just a little. "What if we're not meant to know what's inside? Maybe this is better left untouched." You close the book slowly, the pages giving off a final flicker of light before dimming, the magic retreating into the shadows. You let out a breath you didn't realize you were holding, feeling the tension in your shoulders ease slightly, but the weight of the decision still lingers. You haven't closed the book forever. It's still there, waiting for you, calling you to open it again when the time is right. But for now, you decide to leave it closed. The library feels less oppressive now, the oppressive sense of danger ebbing away, replaced by a feeling of relief. You glance at Leo, who gives you a nod of approval. You may not have solved the mystery tonight, but you've made it out unscathed, with something more important than the answers, the knowledge that sometimes the answers are best left undisturbed. But even as you leave the restricted section, you can't shake the feeling that this isn't the end of the story. The book will still be there, waiting, and the temptation to open it, to delve deeper into its secrets, will always be just one thought away. As you leave the library, the weight of the night's adventure lifts off your shoulders. The quiet corridors of Hogwarts seem to welcome you back, and the world outside feels peaceful. Yet, as you make your way back to the Gryffindor common room, the knowledge of the forbidden book lingers in your thoughts. You haven't finished. This journey only postponed it for now, and who knows what adventures await you next. The quiet corridors of Hogwarts feel like a different world now. The restricted section is behind you, and the soft glow of the moonlight through the tall windows casts gentle shadows on the walls. The night is still, almost too still, as if the castle itself is holding its breath after the dramatic turn of events. The echo of your footsteps in the corridors sounds louder now, as if the walls are watching, waiting to see how your story unfolds. You glance at Leo, who walks beside you, his face pensive and quiet. The silence between you is comfortable, but there's a deep, unspoken understanding. Both of you know that the adventure isn't over. The book, the forbidden knowledge, still lingers in your mind, heavy with its untold power. The tension that filled the air in the restricted section has dissipated, but the mystery remains. I can't stop thinking about it, you finally say, breaking the silence. That book, ... what it could do, what it could teach us. It's calling to me. Leo doesn't immediately respond. He looks ahead, his gaze distant, as though trying to find the right words. Finally, he speaks, his voice thoughtful but steady. I know, it's tempting more than anything we've ever found here at Hogwarts. But you saw the way it reacted, the way it tried to pull us in. There's power in that kind of knowledge, yes, but there's also danger. We don't know what it could do, what it might unlock. You nod, a deep frown crossing your face. The unease from earlier in the library returns, but now it feels like something even deeper fear mixed with excitement, like the tension between a thrilling adventure and the unknown consequences it could bring. You wonder if Leo is right. Could the book hold ancient magic that's too dangerous to unleash? Or could it hold the key to uncovering the greatest secrets of the wizarding world? Asterisk, I don't know if I can just forget about it. You admit, your voice barely above a whisper. I feel like there's so much more to discover. What if there's something in that book that could change everything? What if it could help us understand magic in a way we never have before? Leo stops walking and turns to face you, his expression serious. He places a hand on your shoulder, his touch light but firm. Look, I get it, Amol, but there are other ways too. Learn about magic ways that don't put us in harm's way. We have to be careful. We're students, not adventurers, trying to chase after dark powers we don't fully understand. Whatever's in that book, it's not worth the risk. You feel a weight in his words, a caution that's been ingrained in him by years of reading about ancient spells and magical theory. Leo has always been the more cautious of the two of you, and while his words make sense, there's a part of you that wants to push forward, to dive deeper into the unknown and uncover hidden truths that might change everything you've ever known about magic. But as you stand there, feeling the cool air of the corridor wash over you, you realize Leo's right. The temptation is strong, but it's not worth the danger, not yet, at least. The book, with all its mysteries, will still be there, waiting for you. You don't have to make the decision tonight. I know, you say finally, a sense of relief flooding over you. You're right. We'll wait. We'll figure out what to do next. You both resume walking, the quiet hum of the castle filling the air around you. As you pass by the familiar hallways of Gryffindor Tower, the weight of the adventure as heavy anymore. It's still there, lurking in the back of your mind, but now it feels more like an invitation to future adventures, to deeper mysteries. Leo stops just before the entrance to the common room and turns to you. "I'll help you figure it out," he says with a quiet smile, one that makes you feel like the world isn't as overwhelming as it seems. We'll get there, but for now, let's take it easy. We've done enough for tonight. You smile back, grateful for his reassurance. "Thanks, Leo." As you enter the common room, the warmth from the fire inside wraps around you like a blanket. The familiar comfort of Hogwarts settles back in, its walls offering you a safe haven for now. You sit down by the fire, the soft crackling of the flames filling the silence as you let out a deep sigh. The adventure has taken its toll on your body and mind, but there's still a sense of peace that washes over you in this moment of quiet reflection. The book may be a mystery you haven't solved yet, but you know the world of Hogwarts still. It's many secrets left to uncover. For now, you are content to let the flames dance and dream of the adventures yet to come. The warmth of the Gryffindor common room wraps around you like a comforting embrace. The flickering flames from the fire, casting a golden glow on the stone walls, is a peaceful contrast to the tension that had filled the air earlier. You sink into one of the cozy chairs by the fire, the familiar softness of the cushions settling under you. You take a deep breath, letting the familiar scent of old books and the earthy aroma of the firewood soothe your senses. For the first time tonight, everything feels right again. The stress of the adventure, the adrenaline of breaking into the restricted section seems to melt away in the warmth of the room. Leo, still standing by the window, watches the night sky through the glass, lost in his thoughts. The quiet hum of the castle feels almost like a lullaby one that invites you to let your guard down, if only for a moment. The fire crackles gently, its orange light dancing across the walls, and the sound of it is like a heartbeat, steady and reassuring. You feel the warmth seeping into your bones, and for the first time since you held the book in your hands, you allow yourself to truly relax. The evening's tension still lingers in your mind, but it's different now. It's no longer a pressing fears, more like the gentle weight of anticipation. You faced your first real test at Hogwarts tonight, and you've come through it stronger. The thought of what's still out there, what the book might hold, stirs excitement within you. But for now, the quiet of the common room is enough. You don't need to rush. You can take your time. Let the adventure come to you when you're ready. You say softly, your voice breaking the silence. You feel the need to talk, to let the calm wash over you both. "Do you think we made the right decision?" He turns to face you, a faint smile tugging at the corner of his lips. "I think we did. We've got time. I don't need to rush into things. There's plenty to discover, and we've only just begun." His words are reassuring, and you find yourself nodding, though a part of you still wonders what you might have missed by not going further with the book. The mystery still calls to you. But for now, you have to trust that there's a right time for everything. Leo walks over and sits beside you by the fire, his eyes thoughtful. You know, he says, this is just the beginning. We've got the whole school to explore. And not just the school. Hogwarts is full of magic, of secrets waiting to be discovered. But we can't let the rush of one adventure overshadow all the others. You listen intently, the wisdom in Leo's words settling over you like a comforting blanket. He's always been the thinker, the one who's good at putting things into perspective. You smile back at him, a sense of peace flooding through you. You're right. We've got plenty of time. Your voice trails off as something catches your eye. It's the moonlight shining through the window in silvery beams, casting an almost ethereal glow over the room. For a moment, the sight of it stops you in your tracks. It's like the world is holding its breath, waiting for something that you can't quite place. What is it? Leo asked, his eyes following your gaze to the window. I don't know, you reply, feeling a strange pull toward the window. It's like I'm not the only one who's awake right now. Like the whole castle is alive, waiting for something to happen. Leo chuckles softly, a knowing look in his eyes. Maybe it's just the magic of the place getting to you. Hogwarts does have a way of making you feel like something's always about to happen. You smile, but there's something more to the feeling. It's not just the magic of the castle. It's something deeper, something in the very air of the night that tells you this is only the beginning. The adventure you've started has only just begun, and there's still so much to uncover. You can feel it deep in your bones. There's something big coming, something that will change everything. For a moment, you allow yourself to drift, letting the fire and the quiet of the common room ease the thoughts running through your mind. The mystery of the book, the magic of the night, and the bond you share with Leo all swirl together, creating a sense of hope. But then, as though answering the call, a sound breaks the silence, a faint knock at the door. You look up, startled. Who could it be? You didn't hear anyone else coming down the hall. You glance at Leo, and he gives you a puzzled look before you can ask him what's going on. The door creaks open slightly, and a voice comes from the shadows outside. It's barely more than a whisper, but the words are unmistakable. Are you planning to just sit around all night, or are you going to take on the next adventure? You freeze. The voice is familiar, but the intent behind it is uncertain. You glance at Leo, who looks equally confused, and then back at the door. A figure steps into the light fence. You feel your stomach tighten. You didn't expect him to show up here. Not now. Not after everything that's happened in the restricted section. But there he stands, a sly grin on his face, eyes gleaming with the mischief. I thought you two might be done with your little adventure for the night, Vance, says with a smirk. But I guess I was wrong. You exchange a look with Leo. The night is far from over, and the next chapter of your journey is already beginning. Vance's presence is like a cold wind sweeping processed his sudden appearance before he takes another step forward, his eyes glinting with something between curiosity and arrogance. His arrival feels like an interruption and unwelcome one, but one that you know will shape the direction of your night. Leo shifts uncomfortably beside you, his fingers tightening slightly around his wand, but you can tell he's trying to remain calm. "What do you want, Vance?" you ask, your voice firmer than you feel. You don't want to show him any sign of weakness, but the sudden tension in the air makes it hard to keep your cool. Vance grins, a smile that feels more like a sneer. "Oh, don't mind me," he says, his tone dripping with mockery. "I just thought I'd drop by and see how you two were getting along with your little book hunt." His eyes flicker to the table where the forbidden book still rests, its cover closed but heavy with the promise of power. "Tell me, did you learn anything interesting, or are you still trying to figure it out?" You narrow your eyes, the earlier unease bubbling back up inside you. Vance has always been a bit of a show-off, the type who likes to assert his dominance over everyone else. But you can't help but feel that his presence tonight isn't just for taunting you. There's something more to it, something deeper. "What do you know about it?" Leo asks, his voice measured but sharp. "You've been hanging around the library a lot lately, haven't you? How much do you really know about the restricted section?" Vance's grin widens, and you can almost feel the tension crackling in the air between the three of you. "Oh, I know more than you think. You're not the only one with a knack for breaking rules, you know." He steps forward, eyes flicking between you and the book. But there's something about that book, something that feels special. His voice drops lower, becoming almost a whisper, as though he's confiding in you. But you know better than to trust him. Leo's eyes dart toward you, and you can see the silent conversation happening between the two of you. There's no way you can let Vance get his hands on the book. There's too much danger in his curiosity, too much ambition that could spiral out of control if left unchecked. But you don't want to escalate things either. You've already seen how far he'll go to get what he wants. "Look, Vance," you say, trying to keep the tension at bay. "This book is more dangerous than you realize. It's not something you should be messing with. You think you can handle it. You have no idea what kind of power it holds." Vance chuckles, the sound echoing in the otherwise silent common room. "Oh, I know exactly what kind of power it holds," he replies, his tone low and deliberate. "I've been studying its magic for a while now, and I've been learning more than you could possibly imagine." He gives you a pointed look, as if daring you to challenge him. Asterisk the words hang in the air like a challenge, and you can feel the pressure building. The space between the three of you feels charged now, each word exchanged carrying a weight that could tip the balance in one direction or the other. There's no going back. Now Vance has already crossed a line by showing up uninvited, and you're not sure how much further he's willing to go. Leo stands up, his stance defensive, but he's also calm. "You really think you can control magic in that book?" he asks, his voice steady. "You think you're ready for whatever power it holds?" Vance meets his gaze, unwavering, the arrogance still in his eyes. "I don't need to be ready," he says confidently. "I just need to take it." He reaches out, his hand hovering just above the book, as though he's already claimed it. But before he can make contact, you move. "Not so fast," you say, your voice firm, a surge of determination flowing through you. If anyone's going to open it, it's going to be us together. You don't get to just walk in here and take something that's not yours. Asterisk Vance freezes, his fingers inches from the book. His eyes narrow as if considering your words. For a moment, the room feels tense with a stillness that makes your skin prickle. But then, with a sneer, he pulls his hand back. "You think you can stop me?" He sneers, his expression twisted with frustration. "You're not as clever as you think. I always get what I want." With a dramatic flick of his wrist, he turns away and starts toward the door. "But don't worry, I'm sure I'll see you both again soon, when I've unlocked the book's secrets." And just like that, he's gone. The door swings closed behind him, leaving an eerie silence in his wake. You let out a breath you didn't realize you were holding. The tension in your shoulders eases, but you can't shake the feeling that Vance hasn't given up. He may have left for now, but his words linger in the air like a promise. You glance at Leo, who meets your gaze. The same thought running through both of your minds. "This isn't over," you say quietly. Leo nods in agreement. "No, it's just the beginning." As you sit back down by the fire, the warmth from the flames offering you some comfort, you realize that the adventure you found yourself in is far from finished. Vance is only one part of the puzzle, and the book holds more mysteries than you could ever imagine. The journey is far from over. In fact, it's only just beginning. The warmth of the fire flickers across the common room, casting long shadows on the walls. The crackling of the flames is comforting, but there's still a lingering tension in the air. You sit with Leo by the hearth, each lost in your thoughts, the weight of what just happened pressing heavily on your shoulders. Vance's words still echo in your mind, and his threats linger like a cloud, darkening the otherwise peaceful night. You exchange a glance with Leo, who is rubbing his hands together, trying to bring some warmth back into his fingers after the encounter. It's clear that the uneasy peace between the two of you isn't enough to calm the storm brewing in the back of your mind. You feel a strange foreboding, an uneasy anticipation that you can't quite shake. "I don't like how easily he walked away," Leo says, his voice low, barely above a whisper. "It was like he wanted us to think it was over." You nod in agreement. It wasn't just his arrogance that unsettled you. It was the certainty in his eyes. Vance wasn't simply after the book, he was after power. And with that kind of ambition, there's no telling what he might do to get what he wants. "I think you're right," you say the words heavy with realization. It's not over. It's just the beginning. He's going to come back for it. And when he does, we'll need to be ready. As you sit there, the weight of the book still on your mind, a sudden sound breaks the silence. The door to the common room creaks open slowly. A faint rustle of robes in the corridor. You glance up, alert once more, and Leo tenses beside you. But it's not Vance who enters. A familiar face steps into the room, her silhouette illuminated by the soft firelight. It's Hermione, her expression serious but relieved. She shuts the door behind her and walks towards you with quick, purposeful steps. "Sorry to interrupt," she says, her voice quiet but urgent. "I heard you two were here, and I need to talk to you." You and Leo exchange looks, both surprised by her sudden appearance. Hermione is usually busy with her own studies, and it's rare to see her at this hour, especially in the common room. "What's going on?" Leo asks, his voice laced with curiosity. Hermione doesn't waste time with pleasantries. "I've been doing some research," she says, glancing around the room to make sure no one else is eavesdropping. "And I think we've missed something really important about that book." You sit up straighter, suddenly more alert. The mention of the book, the one you've been so focused on for days, sparks a new wave of interest. You motion for her to continue. "I've been reading through some old texts, and there's something about this particular book that's more dangerous than we realized," she says, her voice low. "It's not just any book. It's tied to an ancient curse, one that could unleash an unimaginable amount of dark magic if used incorrectly." Their swords, the weights hang in the air like a sword about to fall, the weight of their meaning pressing on your chest. Dark magic, curse. These are the words that raise the stakes. The ones that make the book feel more like a threat than an opportunity. It was hidden away for a reason. Hermione continues, her gaze fixed on you both. "It's not just forbidden knowledge, it's dangerous knowledge. And the more I look into it, the more I'm certain that we're not just dealing with spells or curses. We're dealing with something far more dangerous. Something that could change the very fabric of the magical world if unleashed." You exchange another glance with Leo, and the tension between you both deepens. You've always known there was something off about the book, but hearing it from Hermione only amplifies your fears. The temptation to open it, to delve into its pages, is now coupled with the very real risk of what could happen if the knowledge within falls into the wrong hands. "What do you think we should do?" Leo asks, his voice steady but with a hint of concern. "We can't just leave it lying around." Hermione nods, her expression graved. "No, we can't. But we also can't just rush into anything. If we open the book without understanding what's inside, we could be setting off a chain of events we can't stop. We need to find out everything we can about it, and we need to be prepared for what's coming." A moment of silence passes, and you feel the weight of her words. You know what this means. The book isn't just a key to knowledge, it's trigger for something far bigger than any chest deepens, a cold knot of fear wrapping around your heart. But there's still a flicker of hope. You've come this far, and you know that together, with the right knowledge, you can overcome whatever challenges come next. All right, you say, your voice steady now, filled with determination. We'll figure it out. We'll find a way to understand the book and protect everyone from what it holds. Hermione smiles, a sense of relief washing over her face. That's the spirit. We can't do this alone, though. We'll need to work together, all of us. The three of you stand together in that moment, united by a common goal, ready to face the unknown dangers ahead. You can't deny that the road ahead will be difficult, fraught with risks and unknowns. But for the first time tonight, you feel a sense of clarity. You'll face this adventure head on, not because it's easy, but because it's the right thing to do. And with that, the story continues. The fire burning gently in front of you, its glow the only light you need to see through the dark of the unknown. The fire in the common room continues to crackle, its warm light flickering over the faces of you, Leo, and Hermione. The mystery of the book now feels far heavier than before, and yet the atmosphere around you has changed. The uncertainty that had been clouding your mind has given way to resolve. This is no longer just about curiosity. This is about ensuring that whatever magic the book holds stays out of the wrong hands. As you sit together, the night outside feels unusually silent. The stars glimmer faintly through the window, but the usual comforting noises of the castle footsteps echoing down the hall, students chatting in distant rooms, seem to be absent. The stillness presses in, as if Hogwarts itself is waiting for the next chapter in this unfolding story. Hermione looks out the window, her expression distant, as if she's already working through the next steps in her mind. I've been thinking about something, she says, her voice barely audible, but her words holding a sense of gravity. There's another part of the book, something I've only just remembered. She pauses, and you can see the wheels turning in her mind. In the magical community, there's an old legend. It speaks of a powerful artifact, one that's been lost to time. You feel the hairs on the back of your neck prickle as you listen. The mention of an artifact immediately stirs something in your memory. It's not just any object, it's tied to something ancient, something forbidden. What artifact? Leo asks, his curiosity piqued. Hermione turns back to you, her eyes intense. It's a relic of sorts, created centuries ago by a group of ancient wizards, powerful enough to manipulate reality itself. They used it to unlock magic that wasn't meant to be touched. The book we found, it might be tied to that artifact. The room grows quiet as the full weight of her words settles in. Lights. The artifact she's talking about isn't just a minitus, a physical object with the potential to control magic on a scale that none of you can fully understand. You exchange a glance with Leo. His eyes are wide, filled with a mixture of wonder and concern. Wait, are you saying that the book us to it? He asks, his voice barely above a whisper. Asterisk. Hermione nods slowly, her face set in determination. I think so. The book's knowledge, the spells it contains, the magic within it could very well be the key to unlocking the artifact's power. If someone were to gain control of both the book and the artifact, a chill runs down your spine at the thought. The implications of that are staggering. If Vance or anyone else were to gain access to both, it could mean the destruction of everything Hogwarts stands for. Magic, unchecked and unrestrained, is a force that could change the world in ways none of you could ever anticipate. So what do we do? You asked, your voice steady but filled with urgency. The danger feels very real now. It's no longer just about reading the book. It's about preventing a catastrophe. Hermione's expression softens, but her resolve doesn't waver. We have to find the artifact before anyone else does. We need to protect it, keep it from falling into the wrong hands. You feel a rush of determination surge through you. This isn't just about stopping Vance now. It's about protecting magic itself. The responsibility weighs heavily on your shoulders, but you're ready for it. The adventure you thought you were prepared for has just grown infinitely more complicated, but it's also become more important than ever before. We need to get ahead of this, Leo says, his tone serious. We can't waste any more time. If we know where the artifact is, we need to go after it fast. Hermione looks thoughtful for a moment before nodding. There's one place where the artifact could be hid in an ancient chamber beneath. Hogwarts. It's a secret, one that's been lost over the centuries. I think the book holds the key to finding it. The idea of venturing into hidden chambers beneath the school is thrilling and terrifying all at once. Hogwarts itself is filled with secrets, and this one seems to be the most dangerous of all. The three of you stand up, the magnitude of your decision settling in. This is no longer just about exploring magic, it's about protecting the very foundation of everything you've come to love. As you move toward the door, Hermione's voice calls out softly. We need to be careful, she says, her words carrying the weight of experience. If we're going to do this, we need to stick together. There's too much at risk. You nod, the resolve in your heart becoming solidified. This journey is far from over. The artifact is out there, and the race is on. It's time to uncover the next secret, to venture into the unknown, and stop whatever forces are trying to manipulate magic for their own gain. As you walk out into the dark corridors of Hogwarts, the night ahead feels like a new beginning, a new adventure that will take you deep into the heart of the school's greatest mysteries. The feeling of excitement and anticipation thrums in your chest, and you can't help but wonder what's waiting for you just around the corner. But no matter what comes next, one thing is certain. This is a journey you will face together, with courage, with friendship, and with a resolve that cannot be shaken. The castle feels different now as you walk through its corridors. of secrets, but tonight they seemed to hold even more. The air heavier with the promise of something greater lurking just out of reach. You and Leo follow Hermione through the quiet corridors, the soft sound of your footsteps echoing off the stone walls, the flickering lights of the torches along the walls cast long, dancing shadows, making it feel as though the castle itself is watching you. Hermione leads the way, her expression focused, her mind clearly miles ahead of you. You and Leo follow closely, but it's clear that tension is rising. The artifact she spoke of could be hidden anywhere beneath the very foundations of Hogwarts itself. The thought of wandering into the depths of the school in search of something so powerful fills you with a sense of unease. But the urgency of the task propels you forward. This is the last place anyone would expect to find the artifact, Hermione says, her voice low but steady. We'll need to pass through the dungeons, but that's only the beginning. There's an entrance to a hidden chamber beneath the Forbidden Forest. The Forbidden Forest. The mere mention of it sends a shiver down your spines. You've heard the stories of dangerous creatures, hidden secrets, and mystical forces that make the forest a place to avoid at all costs. The thought of going into the heart of the forest, knowing that it could be the key to finding the artifact, makes you feel both exhilarated and nervous. What makes you so sure it's there? Leo asks, his voice tinged with skepticism. The artifact has been hidden for centuries. We don't even know what it looks like, what we're really looking for. Hermione pauses, and for a moment, the three of you stand in the middle of the hallway, the silence stretching out. Then she turns to face you, a faint smile on her lips. Yes, Leo, this isn't the first time this chamber has been hidden. The last time it was uncovered was hundreds of years ago by the founders themselves. And they didn't just hide the artifact for safekeeping. They used it. They used it to shape the very magic that built Hogwarts. The chamber we're looking for holds not just the artifact, but the key to controlling the forces that bind the magical world together. You and Leo exchange a glance, the weight of her words sinking in. The idea of controlling magic is both a privilege and a dangerous responsibility. Whoever controls the artifact could change the very fabric of the wizarding world. Could this be the source of the dark power that Vance hinted at earlier? You feel the gravity of the situation settling in. This is no longer just about a book or a mysterious artifact. This is about the balance of magic itself. Asterisk, we can't let anyone else get there first. You say, determination building in your chest. If Vance, or anyone like him, finds the artifact, there's no telling what could happen. Hermione nods, her face serious. Exactly. That's why we need to move quickly and quietly. The chamber's location isn't exactly public knowledge. The only ones who know about it are those who've studied the deepest, most forgotten parts of magical history. And that's where we're heading, right into the heart of the Forbidden Forest. Leo's brow furrows in concern, but he says, nothing The Forbidden Forest is as dangerous, filled with creatures and magic you can hardly comprehend. But the urgency of the task is undeniable. You must find the chamber first and secure the artifact before it falls into the wrong hands. The three of you make your way out of the castle, the moonlight casting eerie shadows across the grounds as you cross the courtyard. The night feels heavier now, the familiar sounds of the castle fading behind you. As you approach the edge of the Forbidden Forest, the trees seem to loom larger, their dark branches reaching out like gnarled hands. "This is it," Hermione says softly, her voice a whisper against the backdrop of the still night. "The forest holds many secrets, and we are about to uncover one of its oldest." A deep breath fills your lungs as you step forward, the air cool and crisp. You can't help but feel the pull of the forest. There's something magnetic about it, something that calls to you, but also warns you. You glance at Leo, whose eyes reflect the same uncertainty, but also a quiet resolve. This is your moment, your chance to make a difference. The adventure ahead may be full of unknowns, but one thing is certain: you're not backing down. As you take your first steps into the Forbidden Forest, the adventure begins to take shape. The sounds of the world around you seem to fade, leaving only the rustling of leaves and the whispering of the trees. You are no longer just a student at Hogwarts. You are part of something far bigger, something that will test your courage, your wits, and your very understanding of magic. The air grows thicker as you step deeper into the Forbidden Forest, the darkness enveloping you like a heavy cloak. The trees tower above, their gnarled branches stretching into the night sky, obscuring the stars and the moon. The silence is almost suffocating, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves or the distant hoot of an owl. Your breath comes in soft, steady gasps, but despite the stillness, you can't shake the sense that the forest is alive, watching, waiting for something to happen. Hermione leads the way, her wand glowing softly, casting a faint blue light that illuminates the path ahead. Her face is set in a determined expression, but you can see the flicker of concern in her eyes. Even she, with all her knowledge of magic, seems to feel the weight of the forest's power. You can almost feel it in the air and ancient magic that runs deep within these trees. A magic that has been untouched for centuries. You glance over at Leo, walking beside you, his face illuminated by the soft glow of Hermione's wand. His usual confidence is replaced with a quiet resolve, but you can sense the same uncertainty in him that you feel in yourself. The Forbidden Forest is a place of untamed magic, full of dangers that no one fully understands. You've heard the stories of giant spiders, centaurs, and creatures far worse. Yet, tonight, the forest feels different. It feels as if it's alive, breathing in sync with your every step. Its secrets just out of reach, but inviting you to come closer. We're getting closer, Hermione says, her voice barely whisper. The chamber is hidden beneath the ancient oak tree, just beyond the clearing ahead. But beyond your guard we're not alone out here. Asterisk, you feel your heart race at her words. Not alone. What could that mean? You try to push the thought aside, focusing instead on the task at hand. The chamber is close, and you can't afford to hesitate now. You have to keep moving forward, no matter what dangers lie in wait. Suddenly, a loud rustling noise breaks the silence. You freeze, your hand instinctively reaching for your wand. The rustling grows louder, closer, as though something or someone is moving through the underbrush. Stay close, Hermione warns, her wand raised. She's ready, poised for whatever might come next, but there's a tension in the air, an energy that tells you the forest is about to reveal something unpredictable. The sound grows louder still, and then, just as quickly, it stops. The silence that follows is deafening. Your heart races in your chest, the adrenaline surging through your veins as you try to make sense of what's happening. You glance at Leo, whose eyes are wide with alertness, and then back at Hermione, who is scanning the area with careful precision. Then, without warning, something steps into the moonlight ahead. A shadow, tall and imposing, moves through the trees. Its shape difficult to make out in the dim light. It's humanoid, but there's something otherworldly about it, something that makes your skin crawl. The air around you seems to vibrate with energy, as if the very forest itself is reacting to this presence. You instinctively take a step back, but Hermione's voice is steady and filled with authority. Don't move, she whispers, her voice barely audible. It's a centaur. You freeze, trying to calm your racing heart. The centaur steps forward, its hooves making a rhythmic sound as they hit the forest floor. Its body is muscular, covered in thick, tawny fur, with the torso of a man and the legs of a horse. Its eyes are wise and ancient, a deep golden hue that reflects the moonlight. The creature regards you with a steady gaze, as though appraising your every move. I know why you're here. The centaur's voice booms, deep and resonant. It's not the words that strike you, but the tone like it carries the weight of centuries. You seek what is hidden, what is locked away beneath the roots of this forest. You take a tentative step forward, but Hermione raises a hand to stop you. We do, she says, her voice calm but firm. We're looking for the chamber, the one that holds the artifact. The centaur's eyes narrow, and for a moment, the world feels like it's holding its breath. The artifact, it repeats, its voice low. That which was meant to stay buried, that which was sealed away by those who feared its power. The centaur shifts its weight, as though considering something. But beware, the path you seek is not one to be taken lightly. It is a path fraught with danger and temptation. The air grows still, as though the forest itself is listening. You feel the weight of the centaur's words settle over you like a dark cloud. What you seek is not just a forgotten relic. It's a force that could change everything. The artifact is tied to is a part of something older, something far more ancient than Hogwarts itself. We're prepared. You say, your voice steady, but with a hint of doubt. We have to find it. We have no choice. The centaur stares at you for a long moment, its gaze piercing as though searching your soul. Then, with a slight nod, it steps back, melting back into the shadows of the forest. Very well, says its voice, echoing in the distance. Proceed, but be warned. Once you step forward, there will be no turning back. With that, the centaur disappears into the depths of the forest, leaving you and your friends alone in the moonlit clearing. The air feels heavier, and the sense of foreboding has deepened. The journey has taken a new turn, and now there's no going back. The artifact is waiting, but so are the unknown dangers that the centaur spoke of. You glance at Hermione and Leo, the unspoken understanding passing between you. The journey ahead will be the most challenging yet, but with courage and unity. You know you can face whatever comes next. Together, you step forward, deeper into the heart of the Forbidden Forest. The path to the artifact unfolding before you like a puzzle you must solve. The forest around you feels darker now, the shadows deeper and more oppressive. Each step you take is measured, as though the ground beneath your feet is heavy with history and secrets. The words of the centaur echo in your mind. Once you step forward, there will be no turning back. It's a promise, a warning, and yet the temptation to continue is too strong. The artifact, its power, and its potential, it's all too close. Now, and you know you can't stop until it's found. Hermione walks ahead, her pace steady but careful. You and Leo follow, the weight of the journey ahead pressing on your shoulders. There's an eerie silence around you now. The usual sounds of the forest, the rustling leaves, the calls of nocturnal creatures seem to have disappeared. Only the crunch of your footsteps on the damp earth and the occasional whisper of wind through the trees break the stillness. The atmosphere feels like it's holding its breath, waiting for something. The air is thick with anticipation, and it's as though the forest itself is aware of your presence, aware of your purpose. The further you venture, the more the landscape changes. The trees seem to grow taller, their trunks twisted and gnarled, their branches reaching out like the hands of ancient guardians. The ground beneath you becomes uneven, the path more difficult to navigate as you near the heart of the forest. The clearing Hermione spoke of is close now, and you can feel it in the air. There's a shift, a subtle vibration that hums in your chest, deep within your bones. We're almost there, Hermione says, her voice cutting through the silence. She's looking up now, her eyes scanning the trees above you. But it's not the branches she's focused on, it's something deeper, something hidden. The chamber is just beyond this ridge. We need to find the entrance and we need to do it quietly. Leo's expression is tense as he glances around. I've got a bad feeling about this, he says under his breath, his gaze flicking from side to aside. You feel it to the weight of the forest's gaze, the sense that something is watching you. Every snap of a twig or rustle of leaves sets your heart racing, but there's no turning back now. The three of you push forward as the dense trees giving way to a small clearing ahead. In the center of the clearing stands a massive, ancient oak tree, its roots twisting and winding like serpents beneath the earth. The bark is thick and weathered with strange, glowing symbols carved into its surface. At first, the symbols appear to be random, but as you step closer, you realize they're part of something more runes that seem to shift as the light catches them. This is it, Hermione whispers, her voice full of awe and reverence. This is where the entrance is hidden. Asterisk, you can feel your heart race again as you take a step closer to the tree. The ground around it feels different, as though the magic here is alive, pulsing beneath the earth. The air is charged with an electric energy that tingles on your skin. You reach out to touch the tree, and the moment your fingers brush against the rough bark, a shudder passes through the ground beneath you. The symbols on the tree flicker to life, glowing faintly in the dim light. You gasp in surprise as a low hum fills the air, growing louder by the second. The tree seems to respond to your touch, its ancient magic coming to life. And then, as if the forest itself is opening, a small section of the bark begins to shift. It slides away, revealing a dark, narrow passageway leading deep underground. This is it, Hermione says again, her voice barely above a whisper, but filled with a sense of triumph. We've found it. The three of you exchange a glance, the reality of what's happening settling in. The entrance to the chamber is right in front of you, hidden beneath the very heart of the forbidden forest, just as the legend described. But as you stare into the darkness of the passageway, a part of you hesitates. What lies ahead? What ancient power waits to be discovered? Leo steps forward, his wand glowing softly in his hand. We knew this wasn't going to be easy, he says, his voice steady, despite the uncertainty in his eyes. But we're ready. You nod, feeling the same sense of determination. The danger is real, but the desire to protect the wizarding world from the artifact's power outweighs everything else. With one last look at each other, the three of you step into the passageway. The air is cool as it closes in around you. The smell of earth and dampness filling your nostrils. The passageway is narrow, the walls lined with ancient stone, and the only sound is the soft rustling of your footsteps. The light from your wands casts eerie shadows along the walls, revealing strange markings and symbols that seem to move in the dim glow. You don't know what to expect, but there's no turning back now. The deeper you go, the heavier the silence becomes, pressing in around you like a living thing. The sense of foreboding has intensified, and you can't shake the feeling that you're being watched. But you press on, step after step, until you finally reach the heart of the chamber, and there, before you, lies the artifact. Its presence is almost overwhelming. It sits atop a pedestal, glowing faintly with a light that seems to come from within. The air around it hums with an ancient power, and the magic it holds seems to pulse with a life of its own. You can feel its pull, its magnetism, but you also sense the danger that comes with it. You've found the artifact. Now the real journey begins. The chamber is eerily silent as you step closer to the pedestal. The air around you feels thick, as though time itself has paused in the presence of the artifact. It sits there, glowing faintly in the dim light of your wands, its energy palpable and almost overwhelming. The moment your eyes fall on it, you can feel the magnetic pull of force that tugs at your very being, urging you to reach out, to claim it. But despite the allure, a deep sense of foreboding settles in your chest. You know that what lies before you isn't just a magical relic, something ancient, something that could change everything. The danger of what could happen if the artifact falls into the wrong hands is enough to make your heart race. But you can't afford to hesitate now. This is it, Hermione says softly, breaking the silence. Her voice is full of awe, but there's an edge to it, a quiet fear that you can sense. This is the artifact that holds the power to reshape everything. But be careful, she warns. Its magic isn't something that can be controlled easily. We need to handle it with caution. Leo steps forward, his eyes fixed on the glowing object. We've come this far. We can't turn back now. He says, his voice steady, but you can hear the uncertainty beneath the surface. He's just as drawn to the artifact as you are, but he knows the risk too. The power that it holds could either be a force for good or a weapon of unimaginable destruction. You swallow hard, trying to calm the flutter of nerves in your stomach. You take a deep breath, feeling the cool air around you, the faint dampness of the chamber, the earth beneath your feet. The walls seem to press in, the quiet of the place almost suffocating. Your hand instinctively moves to the wand at your brow, sighed its way to comfort in this unsettling moment. This is it, you whisper, stepping forward. Shh. Your voice feels too loud in the silence, too sharp in the presence of the artifact's power. We have to be ready for whatever comes next. You glance at Hermione and Leo, both of them standing by your side, their expressions just as tense as yours. This isn't just about claiming the artifact. It's about understanding its magic and controlling it before it can be used for purposes none of you can predict. As you step closer, your heart begins to race. The light from the artifact flickers, casting shadows across the walls, and you feel the air around you thicken, as though the very magic in the room is becoming more concentrated, more intense. The chamber seems to hum with energy, vibrating slightly, like it's alive. And every step you take feels like it's leading you closer to something that could change the very course of magic itself. Hermione reaches out, pedestal, her fingers just inches from the artifact. "We need to know what we're dealing with before we touch it," she says, her voice low, but her determination clear. "If we don't, we could be unleashing something we can't contain." You nod in agreement, feeling the weight of her words settle over you. The artifact isn't just a key to unknown power. It's a catalyst for something greater. Something that has the potential to shape the future of the magical world. If used improperly, it could tear everything apart. If used wisely, it could create a force strong enough to protect the wizarding world for generations to come. The responsibility is massive, but you know that it's yours to bear. By Leo steps forward then, a hand resting on your shoulder, steadying you. "We don't have all the answers," he says quietly, "but we've got each other, and we'll figure this out." You turn to him, a small, determined smile on your face. Together, you can face whatever comes next. The three of you have already come so far, and you're not about to stop now. With one last glance at Hermione, you slowly extend your hand toward the artifact. The moment your fingers brush against the cold surface, a shockwave of energy pulses through the room. The light from the artifact flares brightly, momentarily blinding you. The hum in the air intensifies, and you feel the very fabric of magic shifts around you. For a split second, you're overwhelmed by the power that surges through the chamber, overwhelmed by the sensation that you've just touched something that was never meant to be found. But then, just as suddenly as it came, the energy settles. The light dims, the room falls silent again, and the artifact is still. You pull your hand back, your pulse racing. You exchange a look with Hermione and Leo, both of them visibly shaken, but neither of them saying anything. The air is thick with unspoken thoughts, and you all know that you've just unlocked something far bigger than you anticipated. The magic is alive, and it's more powerful than anything you've ever encountered. Hermione takes a deep breath, her voice trembling slightly as she speaks. "It's done," she whispers. "We've awakened it." But even as she speaks those words, the sensation of danger lingers. There's more to this than just the artifact. There's something else, something deeper, something that you haven't yet uncovered. And you know, with a sudden clarity, that this is only the beginning of the journey. The power that now flows through the chamber is just the first step. The adventure ahead will test you in ways you never imagined. But as long as you stand together, you know that you can face whatever challenges come your way. The air is thick with magic as you, Hermione, and Leo stand in the dim chamber, the artifact still glowing faintly before you. The faint hum that had filled the room moments ago is now quieted, but the sense of something immense and powerful lingering in the air is unmistakable. The artifact is no longer just an object in the room. It feels as if it has become a living entity alive with ancient magic waiting to be understood. You take a step back, allowing Hermione to examine it closely. Her eyes are wide, but there's no fear, only curiosity and determination. She's always been the one to dive deep into the mysteries of magic, and you trust her instincts. Still, there's something in her expression that tells you this is different. She's not just intrigued. She's apprehensive. Do you feel it? She whispers, not looking at either of you, but focused entirely on the artifact. You nod, unable to articulate the strange energy that fills the room, the heaviness in the air that seems to pulse with each heartbeat. It's as though the very walls of the chamber are alive, breathing with you. What does it mean? Leo asks, his voice softer than usual, almost reverent. Hermione shakes her head slowly. I don't know, but I think this isn't just a physical object, I'd say. Conduit, a gateway to something much greater. It's connected to magic itself in a way that I've never seen before. She steps closer to the pedestal, her fingers brushing the surface, and the artifact pulses again, sending a ripple of energy through the room. The light flickers, growing brighter for a moment before dimming once more. It's then that you realize the artifact isn't just a key to something hidden. It's a map to something far more powerful, something that has the potential to reshape the entire magical world. But before you can speak, Hermione's eyes widen with realization. It's not just a map, she says quietly, as if she's just discovered something monumental. It's a link, a connection to another plane of magic, something beyond the limits of what we've known. The artifact doesn't just hold power, it's a bridge to something ancient and unknown. Asterisk, a chill runs down your spine at her words. The idea of a gateway to another plane of existence is unsettling, but it also explains the sheer force of the artifact. Its magic isn't just contained within the object, it extends outward, seeking something. It's not just about what's inside, it's about what it can unlock. Leo looks from Hermione to you, his expression serious. What does this mean for us? What are we supposed to do with it? Hermione turns to face both of you, her brow furrowed in concentration. We don't fully understand it yet, she says, her voice filled with a mix of wonder and fear. But I have a feeling we're only just beginning to scratch the surface. This artifact has been hidden for a reason, because it holds the key to something that can either save us or destroy us. And we can't let it fall into the wrong hands. You glance at Leo, and for the first time, you see the weight of this journey reflected in his eyes. He knows as well as you do that the stakes have just grown higher, and there's no turning back now. The artifact is no longer just a mysterious object. It's the key to a new world of magic, one that could change everything. Asterisk. We need to figure out how to control it, you say, your voice steady but filled with urgency. We can't let it fall into the wrong hands. Hermione nods, her gaze unwavering. We'll need to study it, understand it fully. But we can't do it here. We need to get it back to Hogwarts, where we'll be safe and can work together without interruption. The decision is made. The three of you stand there for a moment, absorbing the weight of the situation, the artifact, the power it contains, and the danger it poses are all too is certain. The adventure has only just begun. The danger that comes with the artifact is immense, but so is the potential for change for a deeper understanding of magic than any of you could have imagined. The road ahead will be treacherous, filled with uncertainty and obstacles, but there's no turning back. Now, you've come too far, and the answers you seek lie just beyond the next doorway. As the three of you make your way out of the chamber, the faint glow of the artifact still lingering in your mind, you can't help but feel a sense of resolve settle over you. The artifact is no longer just a mystery, it's your responsibility, your duty to protect it. And together, you will face whatever challenges lie ahead. But as you leave the chamber and head back into the depths of the Forbidden Forest, you can't shake the feeling that the real danger is only just beginning. The artifact is a door to something beyond your understanding, and you're about to step through it. The journey back from the Forbidden Forest feels longer than you expected. The weight of the artifact in your pack hanging heavy on your shoulders. The night air feels different, now charged with the unknown. The forest behind you is silent, but the sense of magic, of something ancient, stirring, follows you like a shadow. It's as if the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for you to uncover what lies hidden just beyond your reach. The three of you walk in silence, your thoughts consumed by what you've just uncovered. You can still feel the pull of the artifact in your chest, like an invisible string tugging at you, urging you to understand it, to unlock its secrets. But the more you think about it, the more you realize that you don't truly understand what you're dealing with. The power it contains is unlike anything you've ever felt before, and you're not sure if you're ready for it. Do you think we're the only ones who know about the artifact? Leo asks, breaking the silence. His voice is calm, but there's an underlying tension that betrays his thoughts. What if there are others out there who are looking for it, who already know what it can do? Hermione looks ahead, her expression unreadable, her thoughts clearly elsewhere. I don't know, she says, her voice steady but filled with concern. I've never heard of anyone actively searching for it in recent years, but the fact that it was hidden beneath Hogwarts, beneath the Forbidden Forest, tells me that whoever did this was trying to keep it safe. There's a reason it was concealed, and we need to find out what that reason is before it's too late. Your heart skips a beat at her words. The idea that there could be others searching for the artifact, that they might already be aware of its existence, sends a jolt of fear through you. It's one thing to know you're part of something important. It's another to realize that you might not be the only ones who know that. If someone else discovers the artifact before you do, the consequences could be disastrous. We need to get back to Hogwarts, you say, your voice filled with determination. The sooner we get there, the better. We can figure out what to do with it once we're there. We'll be safer in the castle with the other professors and students. Hermione nods in agreement, her brow furrowed in thought. I agree, but we have to be cautious. is no telling who we can trust. Not anymore. We need to be sure that we're not being watched. You glance over at Leo, his jaw set in a firm line. No one's going to stop us, he says, his voice filled with confidence. We've come this far, and we're not backing down now. You nod, the resolve in your heart solidifying. The path ahead is still unclear, but one thing is certain. The journey to protect the artifact has only just begun. As you walk back toward the castle, the night feels darker, the shadows of the trees stretching farther than before. The sense of urgency has intensified, and the magic in the air seems to hum with the promise of what's to come. Suddenly, a soft rustling sound cuts through the stillness, followed by a soft whisper that seems to come from the very trees around you. You freeze, your senses on alert, as the sound grows louder. A figure steps out from behind a tree, and for a moment, your heart skips a beat, but then you recognize him. It's Professor Dumbledore. You exhale a breath you didn't realize you were holding, but the moment of relief is fleeting. There's something in his expression, something that tells you he knows more than he's letting on. I see you found it, he says, his voice calm, almost knowing. He doesn't ask what it is, but his eyes gleam with understanding. The artifact. You've stumbled upon something far greater than you realize, I fear. You exchange a quick glance with Hermione and Leo, who both seem equally taken aback. You knew? Hermione asks, her voice filled with disbelief. You knew about it all this time? Dumbledore smiles faintly, but it's a smile tinged with something far deeper. Something that speaks of untold secrets. I knew of its existence, yes, but not where it was hidden. Not until now. Leo steps forward, his voice hard with suspicion. Why didn't you tell us? We could have used your help earlier. Dumbledore's gaze softens, and he looks between the three of you. There are some things you must discover on your own, he says, his tone gentle but firm. Sometimes even I must step aside and let the students take the lead. But now that you've found it, you must understand the danger you are in. The artifact is not just a relic. It's a key to unlocking magic that has been sealed away for centuries. And there are those who would do anything to possess it. You swallow, the gravity of his words sinking in. The artifact is more than just a powerful object. It's a gateway to something ancient and dangerous. And there are forces out there who would stop at nothing to claim it. The stakes are higher than you ever imagined. And now you realize that the battle to protect the artifact will be a long and hard-fought one. Asterisk will protect it. You say firmly the words, feeling like a vow, no matter the cost. Dumbledore nods slowly, his expression serious. I know you will, but remember, the road ahead will not be easy. You will face temptation, doubt, and more danger than you've ever encountered. But if you stay true to yourselves, if you trust each other, you may yet succeed. With those final words, Dumbledore turns turns and disappears into the shadows, leaving you alone with your thoughts. The journey has only just begun, and the path ahead is uncertain. But one thing is clear. The fate of the artifact is now in your hands. You glance at Hermione and Leo, the weight of the responsibility heavy on your shoulders. But with them by your side, you know you're ready for whatever comes next. Together, you'll face the secrets of the magical world, uncover the hidden truths, and protect the artifact whatever it takes. The walk back to Hogwarts feels different. Now, the sense of urgency palpable in every step. The world around you is unchanged, but everything has shifted. The air is colder, the shadows longer, as if the forest itself understands the gravity of what has transpired. You are no longer just students in a magical world. You are part of something much larger, something that could shape the future of magic itself. The silence between you, Hermione, and Leo is heavy, each of you processing the meeting with Dumbledore, and the weight of the responsibility that now rests upon your shoulders. The artifact you've uncovered isn't just a tool, it is a catalyst for change, a key that could unlock powers unimaginable and uncontrollable. But with that power comes danger, and you know you must protect it at all costs. Asterisk, Hermione is the first to break the silence. Do you think Dumbledore truly trusts us with this? She asks, her voice barely more than a whisper. Or is he just guiding us into something bigger than we can understand? Leo walks beside her, his hand resting on the hilt of his wand. His face is grim, but there's a determination in his eyes that matches your own. You wouldn't have let us take it if he didn't think we were ready. But there's a lot we don't know, he adds, and we need to be careful. There are people, dark wizards, who would do anything to get their hands on it. They could be watching us right now. You nod, feeling the weight of his words settle deep in your chest. The artifact is more than just a powerful magical object. It's a symbol of the world's most ancient and dangerous secrets. The temptation to misuse it is as strong as its power, and you realize that if it falls into the wrong hands, the consequences could be catastrophic. Asterisk, the road ahead is uncertain, but you know one thing for sure. You can't do this alone. The bond between you, Hermione, and Leo has only grown stronger through everything you've faced together. You'll need each other now, more than ever, as you venture deeper into the heart of the unknown, as the entrance to Hogwarts comes into view. The castle's towering silhouette against the darkened sky feels almost like a beacon of safety, a reminder of the place that has always been home. But even as you approach the castle, a part of you knows that you've crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. The artifact is alive with magic, and now it has chosen you. You are its guardians, its protectors, and its keepers. The next step is to take it to the room of requirement, Hermione says, her voice steady. It's the only place in Hogwarts where we can keep it safe for now. We'll need to study it, figure out exactly what it can do, and how to control it before it's too late. Leo's eyes flick to you, his expression serious. Are we ready for this? He asks, his voice filled with the same doubt you've been carrying since the beginning of this journey. You take a deep breath, the cool night air filling your lungs. You glance at Hermione, her eyes focused ahead, and at Leo, who stands by your side, unwavering. You nod slowly. We have to be, you say firmly. We've come too far to turn back now. The room of requirement awaits, its hidden secrets, ready to be uncovered. Together, you make your way toward the entrance of the castle, the weight of the artifact, a constant reminder of what's at stake. But as you approach the towering doors of Hogwarts, you feel a sudden wave of calm wash over you. Whatever comes next, you know you'll face it together. The bonds of friendship and trust that have been forged on this journey will be what carry you through the dangers that lie ahead inside the castle. The hallways seem quieter than usual, the air still and heavy. The castle feels different tonight, as though it understands the magnitude of the changes unfolding within it. As you reach the room of requirement, the door appears, just as it always does when you need it most. With a deep breath, you push the door open, and as you step into the room, a sense of peace settles over you. The room of requirement has always been a place of safety and solace, and now, more than ever, it will be the place where the future of magic begins to take shape as you place the artifact carefully on the pedestal in the center of the room. You feel a shift in the air, as if the very magic of Hogwarts is reacting to its presence. The room seems to hum with energy, the walls alive with the promise of what's to come. The journey is far from over. The artifact is just the beginning. But as you look around the room at your two closest friends, you feel a sense of hope. The future may be uncertain, but you are ready. Whatever comes next, you know you will face it together. You have the strength, the wisdom, and the courage to see this through. And in that moment, with the artifact safely in your care, you realize that the adventure you've begun is not just about protecting a relic. It's about shaping the future of the magical world, about ensuring that its magic remains a force for good in the world for generations to come.